16 3- and 4-year-olds are served daily. 40 children are on the waiting list. Learn how you can make a difference with this local group coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the 4th annual flower pot auction to benefit the Friendship House Preschool, and we're visiting with Donna Roy, the executive director of the Friendship House Preschool. Good morning, Donna.
Good morning, Greg.
Thanks so much for coming in. It is so exciting to get you in the studio.
I'm thrilled.
And
Thank
to know
you.
we're just now a little more than 2 weeks away from the auction.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Huge day. That's the day before Mother's Day.
It is. It is. We kind of planned it that way.
Really?
Yeah, because our thoughts are we will have folks come out, purchase a pot at the auction, and take it right next door to Lowe's, because Lowe's will fill that pot with dirt and a complimentary flower.
Oh, come on.
What a great gift for Mom. Don't you think?
That is a great idea.
Mom's wife, grandmother.
Girlfriends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That is a great idea. And of course, this is the auction's been held, this is now the 4th year, every year at T-Bone's Grill and Grill.
Correct.
Right
T-Bone's
there
is very
at
good to us.
Seaboard Commons. They're a great partner to have.
They really
What
are.
do you think got them to wrap around Friendship House?
Well, all you have to do is just walk through the doors of the Friendship House. Take a look at the children that we serve, and know that there are many other children in the community that we need to be serving. And they just really embraced the Friendship House after visiting, and they're very community-oriented as well. So they just they chose us to assist.
Donna, y'all have a huge waiting list there at the Friendship House.
We do. I'm sorry to say.
50 kids.
We do. And, you know, I've only been there since December, and I've been doing quite a bit of research and studying the history of the Friendship House. And it disturbs me that there have been quite a few children on a waiting list there for quite some time. Now, the primary reason for that is the facility. The building is not large enough to accommodate the children that need to be there in the community. So we are in need of a new facility.
So y'all will be underway on a capital campaign probably in the very near future.
We've got that vision in mind. We certainly do. So this particular fundraiser is unofficially our kickoff for the capital campaign.
Great, the flower pot auction.
Right.
Okay,
right.
good.
Now the first step in a capital campaign obviously is a feasibility study, because we own the property at 800 Canal Street where we're located, but we we really don't know what it's going to cost us to build a new building there. So we are looking to get bids from contractors to determine what a feasibility study will cost and how much money we will need to raise to build our new building.
So there are a couple of steps now. Some of the funds raised will be just used to pay for the feasibility study.
Correct.
To determine how much you'll need
Correct.
actually to build a new facility. Will you all stay at that same location, 800
Absolutely.
Canal Street? Okay.
Because we serve a lot of the children and families in that community. So,
But
the
kids
race
from
path
all over Horry County are
certainly
all
welcome.
over the
Absolutely,
area.
absolutely. We don't limit it to the children in that area. We do offer transportation to children in that area. So if they live outside that surrounding area, they would have to be dropped off by a parent.
Is the Friendship House Preschool United Way?
No.
You are not?
No,
Okay.
no. We are solely depend on fundraisers, grants, donations, contributions from corporations. So we will be out and about in the community here before long asking for some significant donations to help us with this capital campaign.
Well, of course, right now, serving almost exclusively 16 children, and with that huge waiting list, the goal would be to enlarge it to serve even more children on a regular basis?
Certainly. Certainly would.
Well, I was so excited to see some of the sponsorships, some of the folks who've committed as sponsors for this fourth annual flower pot auction. You've got an amazing array of sponsors.
Isn't it awesome? I'm
is.
very excited about the commitment from the community to help us. And I have been speaking. Yesterday I was at the Surfside Rotary Club, and today I'll be at Optimist, and then I'll be at Chicora Rotary tomorrow. So I'm really making the rounds to increase public awareness about the Friendship House and the needs that we have.
Absolutely. It is so exciting. Well, you know, this past Monday, Terry Harris was with us from the Friendship House Medical Clinic.
Right.
And of course, at one point, y'all were together in the mid to late 60s, and of course separated, I guess, in the 80s. I think in 1980 the preschool was formed.
Correct.
So and they moved out, I don't know when, to that location on 544. And of course, you all have been at Canal Street for a good almost 25 years.
Correct.
Yeah, 2.5 decades.
Correct.
A big deal.
And that building actually was moved from another location to the Canal Street site. So that was a used building when we got it. So at present, we have got problems galore with the building. Water leaks, we've got mold issues, we have dry rot, we have rotten rafters in the ceiling, and the list goes on and on.
Termite damage,
so termite,
I saw that.
Oh, it's just amazing. So, you know, instead of putting a Band-Aid on the problem and maintaining that, you know, trying to maintain that building, it just makes sense. It's time to go ahead and kick off a campaign and build a new building. I think that that the community will really embrace that idea. I mean, based on simply the support that we're getting for the flower pot auction, I think that we will have a most successful campaign and be able to accommodate and serve the children of the community that need us.
I'm sure you will. Donna, let's talk real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, I'm not. But I have been here for, well, over 10, 11 years now, off and on.
Okay.
I was here and then I left and then I came back.
Right.
I'm from South Carolina.
You're a Palmetto State native?
Correct. Easley, South Carolina.
Okay,
Easley,
that's in the upstate?
The upstate,
yeah.
Near Greenville.
What brought you to Myrtle Beach 10 years ago, Donna?
Oh, Greg, you know, I was young and I was just wanting to live at the beach, breaking up a relationship, you know, and, okay, let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Break up, go have fun.
That's exactly right. I mean, how many people do that? A lot.
Yeah, sure. A lot of them come to Myrtle Beach.
Exactly.
And break up here, yeah.
Well, true.
That's right.
But I came because I had friends here. And I came down and I started working in television, actually. And then I ended up in radio. You remember?
No, that was before my time.
Oh, Powermouth Patty? You don't remember?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
You were Powermouth Patty?
Yes,
Oh,
on WBPR Power 98 with Billy Smith. Oh, yes, what a kick that was. That was the start of my my awesome radio career, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
But I left here and I went to San Francisco. And I worked in 2 stations in San Francisco in the 4-year period that I was there. And then I left San Francisco and I went to Boston. And I worked for a company called Metro Networks in Boston, and they provide news, sports, weather, and traffic services for various radio stations in that area.
Okay.
So I was actually the newscaster on 8 radio stations in Boston.
Wow.
I just sat in one place and flipped a switch, and I could be on a different station. You know, okay, at top of the hour I'm on this station, at 10 after I'm on this one, 20 after. It was awesome. It was so exciting.
Yeah, that would have been in Boston.
I know. And then I also, on Saturdays and Sundays, I was the morning anchor on WRKO. So I did news. So I was really busy. Also did some writing for WBZ. Went to work at 2:30 in the morning on Mondays. Oh, my gosh. Talk about a crazy lifestyle.
How did you get that gig, Donna?
Just I knew somebody in San Francisco that hooked me up with someone in Boston, and, you know, just one of those things.
Well, then what brought you back to Myrtle Beach? You went to San Fran, which is a huge both radio and TV market,
Absolutely.
to Boston, which is immediately next to San Fran in market size,
Exactly.
and then down back to the Myrtle Beach area. What was the pulling?
Sand between my toes. You know, it's just such a great community here. And living in San Francisco was phenomenal. Boston was way too cold. It was a great experience professionally, but it was just way too cold for my warm bones. And I did make a stop from Boston to here in Greenville, South Carolina, and worked co-host of a morning show there. And I came back here because WRNN was looking for a female co-host.
Right, with Steve Porter.
Well, yeah, actually Steve left. It was kind of a confusing thing, but it was Robert Kessler at the time.
Okay.
And then Steve Porter and I worked together eventually when Robert left. So I kind of paved the way for the female co-hosts on WRNN, I'm proud to say.
Absolutely. There have been some great ones since then.
Absolutely.
Rachel Roberts and Debbie Harwell now, and
Truly.
probably some others. Terry Springs.
Exactly, exactly. And that was a great experience. But I had been doing it for so long and sacrificing a lot of social life, if you will, and time with my daughter. My daughter was 3 at the time that I moved back here. And it was just time for me to be home with her in the mornings and you know, get a 9 to 5 kind of job.
Oh, what's that like being the mother of a daughter?
Well, Oh, you know, it's great.
Well, yeah, no,
or,
I
you know,
do.
you're a father, but
That's
you know what I
right.
mean. It's great. My daughter is 9. Her name is Erica. And she is just too much fun. She really is. As a matter of fact, she and her art teacher are painting pots for the flower pot auction.
Is that right?
She is. She's very artistic. She's tutored once a week. She's going to do well in art.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very proud of her.
Yeah, so you can actually get someone interested in art. I mean, you know, she's naturally interested in art, right?
Mm-hmm. She draws a lot and likes to color, and she freehand draws quite well.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll be exciting. Now, some of the pots, of course, in front of us, we're not going to highlight any of them in particular, but there's a lot right here. What? Who put some of these together?
Oh, well, the Coastal Carolina Decorative Painters.
Mm-hmm.
There is a group of ladies that have painted for us for several years. And they do quite a few pots for us every year.
Right.
So a few of these were painted by them. Tracy Jennings, who is a local artist, Kathy Collins, Anything Joe's does pots for us, Peggy Dyer. There's a Myrtle Beach High School Academy of Arts and Sciences. Paula Lewis, who is in our Optimist Club, she is in an art class, and they're doing some. And, you know, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Just various people from the community who are interested in painting the pots for us to help us raise money.
Now, how soon before the event could folks let you know? Could someone call you today, Friday the 23rd, and say, I want to get a pot in there? Or
Absolutely.
do you have to solicit them?
No, we'll take pots from people in the community.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, just this week I had someone call me and say, we want to do about 10 pots. I said, bring them on. We'll take them.
Great, good.
Yeah.
Now, our viewers in the PD in southeastern North Carolina, could they chip in as well?
Oh, sure.
From anywhere?
Absolutely.
Oh, great.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's the best number for a viewer to call if they were interested in donating a pot?
448-9277. That's
Okay.
the number at the Friendship House Preschool.
And that's the best number to reach you?
Absolutely.
843-448-9277.
Correct. And if
Okay.
they'd like to donate money, we'll certainly take that
Yeah,
as well.
money or pots. Well, the other great thing is, how will y'all actually raise funds? You've got a ton of sponsors for that day. You can actually take donations as well, but the sale of the pots, how does the event to kick off that morning? Do you have a preview? I mean,
We
how does
do.
it
We
work?
have a preview at 9 o'clock where folks can come in, and we'll be serving breakfast and coffee and mimosas and Bloody Marys and, you know, just have a wonderful time. But at 9 o'clock we open the doors, and the pots will be displayed at that time. And at 10 o'clock we actually start auctioning them off. So we have a gentleman, Tom Jastrom from T-Bones, who is very, very good at it. And he is our auctioneer. And, Ed Piotrowski will also be there doing some guest hosting for us.
We love Ed. You know, he's the meteorologist for the Herald, and of course the meteorologist for WPDE News Channel 15. So
Certainly.
He's crackerjack.
Yes, he is. He will be there for a short period of time, but he is going to be coming.
Wow.
So we're excited about that. So we expect to raise, let's see, my guess is we should raise over $10,000 on the pots. Plus, we have a raffle. Now, this is a very interesting raffle because I don't know if you can see this pot, that size pot right there. We'll have some of those pots that we will be selling or raffling for $50 a piece.
Right.
Okay, in each of those pots will be a prize. The prizes will be valued $25 to $1,000.
Wow.
The $1,000 prize is a 3-day, 2-night trip to the destination of choice, and that was a Fairfield resort.
Oh, great.
So you'll get, you'll really get something back for your $50, and it could be something as small as a $25 gift, or something as large as $100, $150, $300.
And how many of those $50 pots will there be?
25.
25.
25.
So someone could buy all 25 of them if they wanted
They
to.
could.
For $50 a pop. That's not a bad deal.
Not maybe I should raise the price.
You should. That's too cheap. Yeah.
Okay, well maybe we'll think about that.
Think about that. If you've got a $1,000 thing in there,
Yeah.
Opportunity.
You're right. Maybe I should.
Don't
Okay,
hold her to it. Don't hold her.
$100
That's right,
a pot.
$100 a
The
pop.
price just went up.
Yeah, well, that's the way to get to your goal's $15,000.
Correct.
And so if they're $100 a pot, and you're selling how many of them?
25.
Oh, okay. Well, that's $2,500. But
I think you're right. I think we should. Well, we've already gotten over $6,000 in sponsorships.
Great.
So I'm very pleased about that, because my goal was to go into this event with at least $5,000 in sponsorships. So we have exceeded that already. Now we set a goal of $15,000 for the entire event. Well, you know me, that's not good enough.
No.
I want to exceed that goal. Every event that I have done in the past 2 or 3 years, I set a goal and I'm really like, nah, we can do better.
Yeah.
We can do better. So I know we'll do better.
Wow, Donna, the board must be so excited to get you on board, someone who always exceeds goals. I mean, that's a big deal. Is that part of the reason why they work so hard to get you in the door?
You're very kind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm just very happy to be here. It was a great a great change for me. Mm-hmm. I have said for many years as a volunteer with the Grand Strain Optimist Club and in various other capacities and working with the American Heart Association as I did years ago.
Sure.
That's how we met.
How you got me involved. I need to thank Tammy or remind Tammy of that.
Yes, please do. Anyway, I have said quite often when chairing events that it would be awesome for me to be a fundraiser for a living. If I could be a professional fundraiser, that my life would be complete. My professional goals would be met. Mm-hmm. So when this position kind of fell into my lap, I was, it was a real blessing for me, to say the least. Mm-hmm. It was a gift from God, and I really believe that.
Well, what was it about the Friendship House that really made you know that this was the right place to be? Because I'm sure there were a lot of different charitable groups you could have gone into. What was it about the Friendship House that really did it for you?
Well, the first thing was, like I just said, I didn't go looking for it, and I wasn't looking for a new job at the time. I kind of had, I was snooping around a little bit, but I wasn't actively searching for to change employment. It just fell into my lap. Marjorie Thompson, who is our board chair, she and I served together on the Leadership Grand Strand Board of Regents, and we have for several years. And it's just, one of those things, just right place, right time, right person. But when I went into the Friendship House and toured the facility, met the children, I kind of hung out with them that day out on the playground while they were zipping around on their trikes and scooters and whatnot. And they were, you can look at their pictures. You can look at the picture that we have here today and just look at their faces and know that they come from backgrounds that are not ideal. They come from low-income families, and some are from one-parent families, and some are on food stamps, and some are, it's just their situations are so severe that I really felt like I could make a difference in their lives. And when I look at my child and how fortunate she is, and I think about the children in the area that are not so fortunate, I felt led to try to make a difference in their lives. So it just, like I said, it was a real blessing and a great opportunity for me as well.
And speaking of a blessing, I hate to segue off of Friendship House, Donna.
Well, this will be a great segue.
This is a great segue, absolutely. May 1st, that's next Saturday, a week from tomorrow.
Wow, I can't believe it.
A week from tomorrow, the Blessing of the Inland, and you are the MC.
Correct.
That's something that's been going on a long time. I think this is the 8th annual.
This is the 8th annual.
Kicks off at 9 a.m.
Correct. I have been doing the MC work there for 7 years. This is my 7th year.
Wow.
So we have entertainment from 9 to 4. That's my job, is to line up the entertainment. And we have world-class entertainment to include Kelly Cuts from the Alabama Theater. We have a group coming down from Baltimore called Living Water. We have a variety. We've got the bagpipes, Fran Tuitt. You probably know Fran. And,
sure.
Okay, he's bringing his bagpipe group, and they're regulars with us. Anyway, we have a number of folks that come back year after year to perform. And our actual blessing event is at 11:30 on May 1st. And at that time, our minister, Harold Lewis, actually blesses the inlet and the surrounding community. So it's a wonderful event. Not only do we have the entertainment, we also have arts and crafts. This year, we are already slated with 35 arts and crafts vendors, which is the most that we've ever had.
Wow.
We have children's activities that surround the entire building. I mean, we close the street in between Blaine Church and our Family Life Center, which is right across Business 17. We close down that street because it's grown to be such a large event that we just have to close it.
It's not only a street. This is Highway 17. I mean, you're closing down Highway 17. That's a big deal.
How about that? That is a big deal. Big deal. And we have food. food, and more food. A lot of the restaurants from the Murrells Inlet area come down and they set up a booth and they sell food. And typically they donate the proceeds to a local charity. And by the way, the reason for the Blessing of the Inlet Festival is to donate proceeds from that event to local charities as well.
Mm-hmm. Am I correct? The phone number 843-651-5099.
You are correct.
If a viewer wanted to learn more about it, or of course they could visit blessingoftheinlet.com. Okay, great.
Absolutely. And the schedule of entertainment is also on blessingoftheinlet.com.
Okay.
As well as any additional information about becoming a vendor. We still have room for vendors.
Okay, good. Even a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's worth a try to,
Right,
if they're interested.
Sure. The 651-5099 number. And what is that? Where does that phone number go? Does that go to the church itself?
The church office.
Okay,
at Blenheim.
great, good, good. It's so exciting to think about all the involvement. And I know, do you keep up with some of the, now that you've been there since December,
right.
the preschool started, it was created there in 1980. I mean, that's almost two and a half decades.
A long time ago.
Have there been some students that keep in touch with the school, that keep you informed of some of the aspects of the school?
Well, actually, yes. We don't have any real strategy for keeping up with them other than Mary Ellen Green, who is our preschool teacher. Mm-hmm. And she tries to keep up with the students as best she can. Mm-hmm. You might know her. She's on the Horry County School Board, and she's been there for 20 years. Mm-hmm. She's wonderful. And Barbara Bellamy is also an instructor there. Mm-hmm. And she is from the community, so she knows quite a few of the students. Actually, she knows most of them and their families. Mm-hmm. So she tries to keep up with them as well. But one particular note that I just received was from Sherry McCoy, and she works with Myrtle Beach Intermediate School, and two of her children, Sylvester and Satonia, were in our preschool many years ago. One of them is now in the 9th grade, and one is in the 7th grade. And she emailed me, and she said that she really felt like her students gained so much from attending the preschool, and they're both doing very well. And she felt like it really gave them a head start, that it put them on the same level as other students that were from more fortunate students from, upper middle class homes that were able to attend preschool. These kids may not have been able to attend preschool without the services of the Friendship House. And she was very grateful, and she keeps in touch. And actually, I'm looking forward to meeting these two students very soon.
These are her children.
These are her children. And they're doing extremely well. Good students, involved in a lot of activities, a lot of self-esteem, a lot of self-confidence. And the Friendship House Preschool is not just about preschool. It's about giving the children life skills that they can use above and beyond preschool, kindergarten, and to utilize throughout their elementary school and further in their school experience. We also try real hard to expose them to cultural activities and field trips and music classes, and we have someone that comes in and does tumbling with them, exercise. We're concerned about their whole well-being, and we also feed them. And a lot of the children are hungry that come to us, and we give them a snack in the morning, a very nutritious snack, and they also have a full lunch. So we try to do as much as we can for these students.
Right.
Yeah.
Golly, Donna,
it's great.
That's a huge commitment. And of course, one of the great aspects right now is that there are 16 children, so there's a lot of one-on-one.
Correct.
But at the same time, if you had that opportunity with a new facility to take 40-plus off the waiting list and actually get them into the program, it would be something that all of y'all are shooting for.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, we'd have to have additional staff to do that.
Sure.
And eventually, we would have to have an additional transportation. We have to have a larger bus, because what we have right now would not accommodate. Actually, it doesn't right now. So if there's anyone listening that has a school bus of sorts that they would like to donate to us, that would be great, because we have already outgrown the van that we're using.
For the 16 kids? Is that right? Okay, now these are primarily 2- and 3-year-olds?
These are 3- and 4-year-olds.
Excuse me, 3-
Correct.
and 4-year-olds,
Yes,
right.
we're preparing them to go into kindergarten.
Right.
So when they get to kindergarten, they know what the other kids that have been to preschool know. Like I said, otherwise they may not have attended preschool. So when they got to kindergarten, they would be lost from the start. So this is a very important program.
Donna, have you been able to get some of the many charitable groups that you're active with interested in, let's say Optimist Club, interested in the Friendship House? I know you've only been there since December, but have you been able? You said you're speaking to a lot of groups. You're communicating the message so well, which is so important. Of course, Tori Tall, your predecessor, did an amazing job of that as well.
Right, she did.
And probably keeps involved at some level continuously, trying to help out, I'm sure. How's that been for you, getting out and selling the word?
It's great. I love it. As a matter of fact, I have been making the tours of the civic groups recently to increase awareness. And I love to do that. So
I know you
I'm just going to keep it up, you know. I think if you keep the message in front of folks, then they're more likely to get involved, and that's what we want. I mean, we need things at the preschool, not only monetary donations, but we have a very large lawn, and we do not have a lawnmower. If we had a lawnmower, we wouldn't have a place to put it because of our facility limitations. And we are looking for people to come out and help us with lawn work. As a matter of fact, just a few weeks ago, we had a Tiger Cub Scout group from Socastee. David Turbyville's group came out, little 7-year-old boys, and they came out on a Saturday morning with their parents, and they did a fabulous job of mowing the lawn and weed eating and raking up the leaves on the playground, and they really, really helped because, the kids run around out there and the grass doesn't need to be knee-high. So anyone that's interested in helping with minor maintenance, repairs, lawn work, we're looking for people to even come in and cook lunch, for 2 hours, not anything big, macaroni and cheese, ravioli, peanut butter sandwiches, but to come in from 11 to 1 and help out the teachers because right now one of the teachers is preparing lunch while the other one takes all the students. So if we had someone to come in and do that for us, then, the teachers could continue doing what they need to be doing. So there are a lot, we're such visionaries. We have a great vision.
Absolutely. And vision is the word. Donna, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
You are so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Very definitely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Donna Roy coming up next. I'm so glad Donna mentioned vision at the end because it ties in so well to that Helen Keller quote of the most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but has no vision. Have some vision. Get out there on Saturday, May 8th for the 4th annual flower pot auction to benefit the Friendship House preschool. You can call Donna at 843-448-9277. 10 a.m.'s the time. Get out there.